Hey, everybody, we just got done reviewing the end of Severance, another episode of Solo Leveling, and the fourth episode of Daredevil Born Again. So go check those out. Did you know, guys, that I have never seen an episode of Hot Ones? I've seen clips,
Really?
but I've never actually watched a whole episode.
Haven't you seen one when I watched it?
Maybe like you were watching it and I was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But so hopefully I know you guys have watched it.
Yeah, it's
So hopefully you can help me with this list and tell me if they're correct or they're missing some. So this is the 15 best Hot Ones interview of all time.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch all of them. I watch the ones that I want
That
to
you
watch,
like?
Thundercat and Lenny Kravitz and
So people you know.
yeah.
It's been a while trying to watch all of them, and then I fell off of it. And they just do so many.
Yeah.
Although there was a time where I knew the lineup by heart, and then they just kept changing them out. And I'm like, I don't know what that sauce is.
All right. So well,
Hold on. You have sauces. Have you ever tried? Did you try them?
I did. The hot one tasted. I can't remember. It just tasted like the main one, I guess it's called. I can't remember what it tasted like. Hot Tabasco sauce or something like that. It had a very familiar taste, just like hotter. So first they have Pete Davidson. Don't know much about this dude.
Yeah, I would never watch him.
But I think
he's not funny.
I think I watched a bit of the interview. He's a very interesting person.
He's from like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, very strange.
And they say he cries. He cries a lot before he even reaches the bomb.
Oh, really? One of the best parts of the show is seeing what they chose to drink. Or like some people get vegan wings or other wings. So that's always fun.
Do they only use like non-meat wings?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said vegan. So it's like chicken substitute or something?
It's like cauliflower or something.
Conan O'Brien.
I have seen that one, and he's another I don't feel like anyone on planet Earth knows the real Conan O'Brien. I feel like he's always on the act. Like he just always has this face on. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah. That's true. It would be so weird to see him just like living life.
Wake up in the morning, making some eggs. Like, hey, Conan, hey. Like, no, not how it works. You bounce out of bed and wiggle your head.
So he says he unravels at the bomb sauce.
Yeah, but I can't tell if it's real or not, though. That's my thing. I don't know if you're putting on a show or not. Because you're crazy.
What would you guys pick to drink?
French milk.
Yeah. Oh, I love this episode.
Gordon Ramsay.
He brings all his own stuff to deal with it because he's a wimp.
He had like a whole setup of stuff to go on.
He's got like a donut, a lemon.
I forgot about that.
Red does work good on hot stuff.
Oh man, he's another very interesting person.
Well, he's British, so I don't expect him to handle heat well.
He's so hyper. I don't know if I would hang out with him.
I was watching Disparu was on something, Friday Night Tights or something, and they were talking, and he's like, heat's not a flavor, that old British thing that heat's not a flavor. It's like, yes, there is, you can tell like different heat, you can tell Cajun heat, you can tell Mexican heat, they all have different flavors. Shaquille O'Neal.
He's adorable in that episode.
Look at him, man. He's just got
I love when he gets to the bomb one. He's like, this isn't gonna get me, and then he's like
he's a gallon instead of a cup.
Have you ever seen like normal stuff in Shaq's hands?
Oh, it's insane. I couldn't imagine.
And he's got the face for pain. That's why he was on all those medication commercials. Icy hot and stuff. Jennifer Lawrence.
I remember watching that one, but
I remember it very well.
Yeah.
It's one of the series' most iconic episodes.
Doesn't she break like on the third one or something like that?
I can't remember.
Having been warned of the dangers of the bomb, Lawrence cuts her throat with a glass of milk that provides little armor for what's to come.
I'm always proud of people who eat the whole wing, though.
Dude, like Tenacious D, they
just
take it clean.
I think Josh
Pedro?
Brolin did too. He just ate the
Yeah.
whole thing clean. Pedro's good in anything.
I remember Pedro. Yeah.
Like he's always he's another person though that I'm like, I don't. It's not so much an act. He just has so much charm that I'm like, where does the charm end and you begin?
He's got that adorable charm, like
Yeah.
Johnny. It's like,
or
oh,
like Andy Cortez from freaking Kind of Funny. They're literally the same person. It's so freaking funny because I'm like, their mannerisms, how they react to things that are humor. I'm like, they have to be long lost brothers.
This is like kind of the reason I don't watch like celebrities talk, because Pedro, I like Pedro as an actor. I like watching him and stuff, so I don't want to hear him talk because I know he would annoy me with some of his takes and stuff like that. So I just kind of leave it there.
Have you guys ever seen that? I forget who does it, but it's that lie detector test, whatever. And they ask him a bunch of questions, and he was on there once, and they were like, and he's known on the internet as it's not Dream Daddy, but something along those lines. And they're like, do you think of yourself as that? Like, would you classify yourself that? He's like, he's sitting and stares at the camera, he's like, yes. And it's like he's telling the truth. It's like they ask a bunch of just uncomfortable questions that are so funny.
I kind of like, instead of interviews, we just torture celebrities now. Ariana Grande, she needs to eat more chicken.
I don't think she's a real human.
No, like she's not.
I've seen her in other things where she acts normal, but I feel like recently, like her personality is just being pulled from her. Like she talks like she's a doll, like very toy-like. I'm like, I've seen you talk normally before. What has happened? I don't understand. Like she was on a Letterboxd 4 favorites, and how she reacted and responded, I was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
So I haven't seen this one though, but
yeah, when she was doing the press tour for Wicked, it was just like, dang, eat a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
He looks
Paul Rudd's good.
Utterly delightful.
He's always good.
Yeah, just a smiling, enjoyable human being that somehow is old and doesn't look it.
I like how he's one of many that play into the whole, have you been watching me, Sean? Like, how do you know this stuff?
Why do you? Because Sean's like literally him and that Kevin McCarthy guy that does a lot of Instagram interviews, or he puts his interviews on Instagram. They just have the best questions, like the thought through, not repetitive things. Everyone who talks to them like, oh wow, I've never been even remotely asked that before.
I also like when like they're having a hard time with the wings. They're just like, Sean, how are you not like flinching? How you? He's like, I'm dead inside. This doesn't do anything.
Like, I'm here with you. He's so supportive.
I died a long time ago. Did you know Mr. Beast tried to buy Hot Ones? It just got sold. I don't know who got sold to, but he tried to buy it.
Interesting.
Margot Robbie.
I watched this. I remember that was a good one, but I don't. It's been a long time since I've seen it though. But I feel like she destroyed the wings pretty well.
I've seen that one. I don't think I remember it at all.
Elizabeth Olsen.
I know I've seen this one too.
Yeah.
But I definitely, like, when I was watching these, I would binge all of them like in a row, just over and over and over again.
Like seasons.
I had it on at work, and just like in the background.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Seen that one. I think that one's newer.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
She got a shake.
She's another confusing person too. Like, she's done so many different things, and then she just keeps on doing things. I'm like, what do you? It's like that kind of Shaq mindset of like the business. She's a very good business person, I think. She just is very good at like dipping her toe in everything, making sure she's relevant, but does what she wants. It's very interesting.
She didn't weird me out until she ate those dirty carrots. And then I was
dirty carrots?
Yeah, there's this other interview where she's like, oh, I love raw carrots. The dirtier, the better. And there's like dirt on them. And she's like, oh, this is food.
This is life.
That's
also
terrible.
She used to hang out with Drake, so questionable.
Now, I say I don't watch these celebrity ones, but I did watch a lot of comedians in cars getting coffee. I did love that show.
Classic.
We got to talk about Electric State. That was in the news. So Marvel's a little afraid now because that movie was it's the most expensive Netflix ever movie. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the most expensive just movies made, and it did not do very well. So Marvel is worried because they got the Russo brothers to, come back. And
did they do Electric State?
Yeah, they produced it.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel, look at what they've done since Avengers. They haven't had a good movie since then. They've all
No.
been bad. Like,
We watched The Citadel.
we watched The Citadel. We watched that one with Chris Evans and the spy movie that was not good. We watched, I think there were like 2 more that we watched that they did.
Yeah.
Or were a part of at least. And I'm like,
I think they're part of the Extraction. That was the good ones, but Aubrey Plaza.
I did watch that one. She's
I've seen that one.
very strange human being, man. The picture confirms it right there, but she's also very enjoyable to watch. Very good humor and stuff. But
Florence Pugh.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I haven't seen that one.
I think that one was
That looks
recently,
newer,
right?
'cause that's like
Yeah.
right now.
I've seen
I've
that
seen
one.
that one. Yeah, another delightful man. And doesn't he delve into like his music stuff and everything in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
UK hip hop legend.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It all changed when he meets the bomb. After taking a mouthful of chicken loaded with ghost and habanero infused hot sauce, the actor struggles to swallow. He's immediately taken by a fit of coughing and wipes sweat off his forehead. The worst is getting it in your eyes, man, because you know
Yeah,
you're
when
not supposed to touch up there, and you're like, oh.
Didn't Hugh when Hugh Jackman was on with Ryan Reynolds? I think he got some in his eye, if I remember.
Yeah.
I know Jared's seen this, right?
I love watching Dave
I haven't
Grohl
seen
just,
this one.
just do stuff, man. I always watch his interviews and stuff.
He's kind of another dude that doesn't really ever look older. Like I feel like he's looked like that for a
He looks
very
the same.
long time.
Yeah. And he's always surprisingly funny. Like I always
Yeah.
forget like how funny he is.
And that was it. So what do you guys have any favorite ones that weren't on the list?
The NSYNC one is good. I like that
Interesting.
one.
Like
And
In
then-
sync.
Yeah,
The whole band?
they're all back, and like
That's awesome.
Joey's just talking so much crap, and then Justin's just over there. He's just like kind of out of it, but like the rest of them are pretty funny. Him and Lance,
Bass?
and then Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
I think Josh Brolin is definitely one of my favorites. That one was so good.
That one was good. Thundercat,
I don't know
and
what that is.
then
It's a man.
can't think of
Cat
any
with
other
wings
ones.
over there. Go ahead.
All right. So let's move on to the news.
News.
News. Make that little ticking noise, Jerry. All right. So 2 things came out this week that were very controversial, have been in the news for being controversial. And the first one was Snow White. And here she is with some very ugly drawers, which everyone says is the worst part of the movie. Funny enough, the BBC had an article that said it was too communist coming from the BBC. That's like crazy. And it didn't do well. It got 43 million, which is like, I think is the biggest bomb for live action Disney. I know Dumbo is the one that was down there, but I think this beat up Dumbo. It even did bad internationally, which is surprising because usually these do very well internationally. Yeah, and I've heard no good reviews from it except for like, articles that you can tell were paid to have good reviews from
Did you
it.
see the IMDb score? It's lower
Yeah.
than Cats.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh no.
And Rotten Tomatoes, it's pretty low.
Joseph's gonna make us watch it.
Yeah, I saw
I
a meme today that it was like Disney wanted to animate the dwarves because they couldn't get him to look like dwarves like they want him to, and then it shows a picture of Gimli. It's like Peter Jackson did this 25 years ago.
Yeah, so yeah. I heard Gal Gadot's acting's terrible in it.
Alex told me how it ends, and it's very weird.
Oh yeah. So
I was like, huh?
So it ends with her like Snow White. She's gonna be a leader, right? She doesn't want to be a princess. She wants to lead this communist town that they live in, where they make apple pies. Everyone eats apple pies or something like that. And she basically, there's like guards, and they're like gonna get her, and she's like, "No, I know all your names, and we're cool." And they're like, "Yeah, we're cool." So, and then they go confront the witch. They don't really like fight her. She just like gets mad and she breaks the mirror and she turns to dust and gets sucked in the mirror or something.
Yeah, so I was like, is she going to the Phantom Zone like Superman?
Superman, yeah. Yeah, very weird sounding. And then the other one, so Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows
Man is
came out.
smiling.
And well, oh boy, 10 out of 10. Some video game reviewers said, but that's not showing up in the videos that people are making. I saw this one where this guy got like his head cut off, but the body just like gets up and still like walks around. The stealth mechanics have somehow gotten worse between this and the Star Wars Outlaws. So there's videos of people like crawling on the ground right in front of the bad guys, and they're not paying attention at all to them. And it's sad because Ubisoft, known for their stealth mechanics, used to be a long time ago. This one, they came out. Ubisoft was very, they need this game to do well because they're about to get sold off and stuff. So they threatened to sue anyone who harassed the developers. They didn't really say what that meant. They're just going to sue everyone. And then they begged Steam not to release their little play chart. They didn't want that chart out there because I saw that maybe the Sasuke, what do you call it, simulator, that game, that parody game they made, actually beat it out at one point. Yeah, so, and then their big thing was 2 million players, but that's not 2 million copies sold. That's just 2 million players. So video game sales are hard to track. They're hard to get like what the actual number is for video game sales, but it doesn't seem like it's doing too well. And then the memes were pretty vicious because this is Yusuke and his love just smiling at each other. And then the bad guy, so Japanese game, but you play as a black guy, and the bad guy is a Portuguese guy. So not much Japanese in this game. And then I don't know if you guys saw the video of one of the NPC players talking like a robot, talking about shiitake mushrooms. It was very weird.
Spy Kids?
Yeah. So the memes have been strong with this one. So Daily Wire has their CEO stepped down, and there was rumors that they might be going bankrupt. We don't know any of this. They haven't said anything about it. They have been like really pushing their entertainment stuff and stuff like that. They've been making movies and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just all rumors, and we just don't know for now. But the CEO did step down. Oh, the Video Game Hall of Fame for 2025 nominees were back. So we got Ages of Empire. We got Angry Birds. We got Harvest Moon, Jared. Harvest Moon nominee. We got Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Defender. I was never a big Defender arcade guy, but it's there.
Actually, a game or like a simulator?
Yeah, I think I was nominated last year, if you guys remember. I think it was. And then Quake, Frogger, GoldenEye, NBA 2K series. I was more of the NBA Live guy. Golden Tee, and then the Mattel football. So last year, I think 5 made it in. So out of these, what do you think makes it in? I think you got to put the football game in there just because.
You don't got to. You don't. Although I have seen it in movies a lot. So
yeah, it's just so famous.
I'd be astonished. I am astonished that GoldenEye, Call of Duty, and Quake are not in there already. That's very strange.
Yeah, I'm surprised Quake isn't.
It's like those 3 games changed so much. It's like,
yeah.
But
yeah, what do you think, Jared? Do you think Harvest Moon has a chance?
I hope so.
I'm surprised, man. I'm so surprised it's in there. But
look at that bunny.
I don't want to see Golden Tee in there.
No,
I don't
that's
wanna
the classic dad playing video game.
I don't want to see Angry Birds in there.
No, Angry Birds don't need to be in there.
Yeah, they'll probably make it though, just to make us mad.
Which one is Defender?
Defenders, where you're like in the ship, but instead of like most games I play, where it's like the enemies are up here and you go like this. Defender, you're like side scrolling.
Mm.
So Yeah, I never played that one that much. Frogger, I did play. Frogger's pretty fun.
Yeah, Frogger's fun.
Fun
Oh, good
arcade game. Yeah.
I never played GoldenEye. So.
Okay, it appears that Apple TV Plus has lost like $1 billion every season, and they don't really seem to care. I mean, it's just kind of them in the entertainment business, but they don't have much. They have Severance, and they have like hardcore fans, but yeah, it's just like
What are you talking about? They got the Peanuts show, so they have everything.
Yeah, they got all the peanuts. So you wonder how long Apple TV will go. I mean, it doesn't really. I don't think it really hurts them to lose money, but
yeah, like their overarching wing is totally fine, so they're going anywhere.
And then sad, the Max took off all the Looney Tunes cartoons, the classic cartoons. So
no more tunes.
Sad, man.
Dang.
I grew up on those. I don't know why. They don't really say why they did it, but okay. And then Meta was caught stealing books. So Meta was pirating books without paying the authors to program their AI.
Oh.
So, and their excuse was like, "It's fine. We didn't like use torrent sites. We just took it from people or something like that." So,
do you see the writers? I think it was Andor season 2. I'm thinking that's right, but they said they won't release the script because they don't want AI to have it.
Oh, really?
They're like our scripts, like we've decked it out, made it all nicely, but we will not release it because we don't want people to have our work. I was like, or AI to have the work. I was like, wow,
that's smart.
It's
Because
interesting.
AI is just soaking up everything. All right, so that was the news. What is that? A cat?
It's a little man.
A cat and a hat.
What'd you do this time, Jared?
No, I always go first. You
Okay.
always tell me.
Always going first.
Always going first.
What did you do, Michael?
I didn't do much. We already talked about That 70s Show in the show segment. Let's see. Oh, that's not my watch list. There's my watch list. Yeah, the only other thing I did, I watched a movie. So tell me if you guys have heard of this. So in China, a sequel to a movie called Ninja came out like last month or something like that. And apparently it's hit like their box office numbers for all time. It's like number 2 already. And so I was like, I know I've seen that cover before. So I looked for the first one and I was like, if this movie's that good, I looked at it in Letterboxd. Both of them have amazing reviews. So I watched the first one. And it's basically it's like kind of Kung Fu Panda style DreamWorks-esque animation. It starts. It's very like, Chinese mythology, doing all the cool stuff. There's the good spirit and the bad spirit, but they get mixed up or stolen. And so the kid that was supposed to be the hero of everyone ends up having the demon spirit in him. But his parents are like, we're going to raise him anyway. We don't want to try and kill him, whatever, and take that out. And then we'll deal with everything later, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this is really fun. This is good character, everything. And then it gets to a point where it starts fighting. And it's one of the coolest animation movies I've ever seen in my freaking life, dude. You guys have to watch this movie. It gets to it's like Dragon Ball Z on crack. The fight scenes are so good in this movie, and character development's really, really good. The animation's good. It's dubbed because it's not English initially, but they kind of match some of the words to the mouth. But it's animation, so it's not as egregious as like a live action thing, but it's definitely not like 1-to-1. But I was watching the movie. I was like, oh, this is good. This is enjoyable. And it went up. I was like, oh, that was a cool scene. And then it just kept going. I was like, okay. It's just slowly my brain, the ticker of how good. I ended up leaving it at 4.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd because I was like, by the end, I was like, this movie's freaking amazing. And it just hits these moments where it gets so epic, and the animation fighting is so freaking good. I was like, I have to make everyone watch this movie because it is so cool. And now I literally that is my number 1 most excited movie is the sequel to this movie.
Sequel.
So it hit UK, I think, this week or next week. And so I'm like, where's the US release date? I'll go watch it subbed. I don't care. I want to see the second movie because I was like, I'm in now. I'm in on the Ninja train, man. Put me in it. I'm going to go back to Black Myth Wukong because I want to play some more of that mythology. I was like, this movie is awesome. Yeah, that's all I got to say. But man, it was such a delightful surprise.
What'd you watch it on?
It's on Peacock, I think. That's where I watched it anyway.
Peacock.
Our theater gets a lot of Asian movies, like Indian, and
Really?
I don't know if we get Chinese movies though. So
I know now.
Like, when I went to
16's gone, I'm
see-
like,
I know when I went to, I think it was Parasite. Like there was a bunch of Koreans in there watching. I was like, okay. Jared, now are you ready?
Yes, I guess.
I guess. Oh, I did. Whenever Jared was talking about Bring Me the Horizon last week or week before or something like that, I added some of their older albums on because I was like, I've never listened to their older stuff. I've listened to newer stuff. There was a song, I don't even remember the name of the song, but like what you were talking about, like the Nickelback-esque lyrics, I was astounded. They were horrible. I was like, I have to delete this from my library. I cannot ever listen to that song again. It was so bad. I mean, it was like just childlike lyrics of just rhyming cat with hat and stuff. And I was like, I'm out. I can't do that. It was so bad. So I understand what you were talking about.
The Tumblr Girl lyrics.
Oh man, it was horrible.
So I took a break on Beck. I didn't want more I didn't really want more folk. I wanted something else. And so I did something that hey little man. I listened to something that I've been putting off for a little while.
Imagine Dragons.
Just because the song I know is just so good, and it's just like I don't want anything to taint it. But I listened to Carly Rae Jepsen, all of her albums, because I love "Call Me Maybe," and so so I went. She doesn't have much; she has like 6. So I went through that. I started off with "Count Your Blessings," her first album. Oh wait, no. Is this her? Well, my notes are all messed. Oh no, it's called Tug of War. The note was like the first album sucks. It's just like singer-songwriter, but like chick singer-songwriter music that I just don't connect with. It's just I'm not I'm not the demographic for that kind of music. So I was like, this isn't for me. But then we got to the album Kiss, which has "Call Me Maybe," her big breakout album, and I was like, "Oh yes, we are in it." Great album. I liked almost every song.
Wow.
It's really just bubblegum pop, and I it's been a nice change, and so I was like, "All right." And then we get to Emotion. Again, it's like 80s, like it's kind of like Tiffany, but like for like this generation or whatever generation it came out in.
I think we're alone now.
So I was like, okay, all right. And then I get to the song "Emotion," which the namesake of the album, amazing song. I don't know what it is about it. It's like the sequel to "Call Me Maybe." Not really, but it sounds like it sometimes. It's so good. When I was going through the albums, I listened to it 3 times before I continued because I was like, man, I like this song. And I was like, okay. I wonder. I hope it continues. And then we get to the album "Dedicated," which took a dip. It's not bad. It didn't have as much hits as the other ones. So I was like, oh no. I hope it doesn't just continue. I hope it doesn't drop in quality from here. But then we get to an album that was released the year after called "Dedicated Side B." Side B is better than the original. I was like, what the heck? Why are all the good songs on Side B? That doesn't make sense. Really good. I think was it? I think it was Emotion that I was like, it was a song away from being a perfect album because I didn't skip anything, and I was like, oh, these are all bops. But after Dedicated Side B goes to "The Loneliest Time," and this album, it's got some good songs. It's not as good as the one after it, but there is a change in subject matter and tone. She is very like, she wants a man. Let's just say like she is
desperately.
She's been single a while. This album is very, very overly flirty. And I was kind of like shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, she's usually so like kind of like bashful, I guess, in the song. So this one, she was just like, want you now in my room on the bed. And I was like, oh my God.
She was like Daredevil in that courtroom lady.
And then we get to the last album called The Loveliest Time. It's the opposite. And it was good. It has like a kind of a jazzier feel to it. Again, this is another album where I like most of the songs. So really, besides the first album, they're all pretty enjoyable. I was like, huh. I guess the rumors were true. She is. I told one of our coworkers, I was like, it's like if Taylor Swift was good and could sing. But I really enjoyed it. It was a nice. It was a nice change of pace from all like the music I've been listening to. So,
you know what's sad? There's I have like the reverse story. There's a song I put on the playlist a couple months ago that I really loved, and it's the only song that they sing that I like because I've been trying to listen to other stuff, and it's only that song that I like. It's so sad. I don't know why.
And then, out of nowhere to me, I guess I wasn't paying attention. Blindside put out a single called "Dead Weight." It's good. I like it. It reminds me of their last album that came out. What's that one called? The Shivering Hearts, I think that one's called. But it was nice hearing from them again because, like I mentioned, when that song came out that Christian was featured on a couple of, I think it was last month. It's always so like I'm always like, oh, they're back. And then I get an actual single from them, and I was like, "Oh my god, the start of a new era." So I hope they release more music. I saw that they were playing in New York and Los Angeles, so I was like, "If I knew sooner, I'd go." But that's a little too far for me right now, so I was a little sad. And then the only other thing I did, I finally finished. I mentioned a couple times ago, like I started a book and then an audio book. I finally finished the book just because I was reading it on my lunch breaks. I was just trucking through it. It's called The Narrow Road to the Interior by Matsuo Basho. And he's pretty well known for really I guess popularizing haikus or just like he's very famous in writing haikus. The poetry form I don't really know a lot about, but I wanted to read this because I saw it at Barnes and Noble and it looked interesting. And it's just like him traveling Japan, but he's also writing haikus while he's going through Japan. So it was really cool. You just like see where he goes, who's accompanying him, because usually he has like kind of like students that study his work and kind of want to write like him. But there's a lot of them that I really enjoyed. Especially when you like, because it always tells you the day, like what happened in that day, and then he always writes it a haiku like after it. So it's fun. It's fun seeing the haikus that he writes during his day. And I always wanted to write a book kind of like this, where it'd be like it was always my idea to have someone traveling in like a post-apocalyptic world where it's just like mostly overgrown with like vegetation and stuff like that. It's more forest than anything. And then it's just a guy going through that. And then my idea was to have him write a song either after every chapter or just like after every day. But that was a lot of work. I don't like writing that much. But this kind of reminded me of that. And I was like, man, I should write that one day. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this. It was fun just going through it during my lunches too. It was really calming. I just go to my car and just read in the car. So that's all I did this time.
Sweet.
It was just haikus and Carly Rae. That was my week.
All right. They just said that Wingstop makes the best wings out of all the fast food places. I don't know.
Fast food ones?
Yeah.
I don't think I've had many fast food wing places.
It's just Buffalo.
Buffalo's
Or-
terrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I feel like Wingstop has gone downhill.
Yeah, if they cook them, it'd be good.
Yeah, depends on.
last time I
feel like
had
it
them, they
depends on
don't cook
location,
'em.
really.
But
Some of
yeah.
them are like, "Oh my gosh, this is barely even food."
Yeah. And they gave Jared a potato once.
Oh, so apparently, if you ask them, "Hey, don't put that gross sweet sugar on your fries," they just quarter a potato and give it to you uncooked.
All right. So Reacher is almost at its end, so he's gotta, get all his appetites out of the way. So
Did he reach for a plate?
he did. So Reacher, they were going to LA, but first they got to stop off at some ladies, the Boston ladies. They're searching for this girl, and this is like the mom or something. We found out we knew that Reacher was a Yankee fan. That makes his lady friend kind of angry because she's total Boston. So she's basically F you, Reacher. They go visit that lady, and he gets Folgers and chowder for lunch. So coffee and chowder. And then they eat tacos out of little boxes. And I'm like, what was that? And then Boston tacos, I guess. Okay. They also eat lobster rolls. And they're enjoying it, and the girl's like, "Hey, Reacher, how come you never buy lunch?" And he's like, "No one ever asked." So you gotta ask Reacher to buy lunch.
Do you have money?
And then the end was a big birthday party, so maybe he'll get some cake, but we don't know yet. So because stuff is gonna go down at the birthday party.
In the tail?
Yeah, a very violent pin the tail episode. So I watched my 3 movies. Oh no, I forgot one of them. So the theme, gotta find the date of this movie. So the theme of this time was you got like 1 day left on your Kino film collection subscription, so you gotta watch the movies. The first one was Computer Chess from 2013. So this is from they call him the Godfather of Mumblecore. So Computer Chess it's presented in kind of a documentary style. It's black and white. Takes place in like 1988, I think it is, and it's a bunch of these programmers get together at this ugly hotel to compete against their chess programs that they've written. So they're seeing which chess program is the best. It's a very Adult Swimish type of comedy. So if you watch a lot of Adult Swim, you'll probably like this. I actually didn't laugh till like half the way through the movie. And then because it gets weirder as it goes, and by the end it's like super weird, and that was the part that I enjoyed. But
I just looked at the cover; it looked like a documentary, not a movie. I was like,
yeah, it's shot in that documentary style, and it didn't get funny till like this student is with his professor, and he's like talking to him about the chess game, and he's got this weird theory that the chess program likes to play humans instead of other computers, and he's like professor's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Well, people like Tesla," and he's like, "Who told you about Tesla?" I don't think you should be looking up to Tesla. And that was the part that made me laugh. Next movie was a French movie called France, and it took place. It came out in 2021, and it's got Leah Seydoux, and she's good in it. She plays this reporter that's like a super mega star. She's like an actress fame, where like people are constantly coming up to her trying to get like photographs and getting her autographs. So she's, for some reason, reporter is super famous. But basically she deals with kind of feeling phony inside. Like she doesn't
big fat phony.
She like hits this guy when she's driving her kid to work. she doesn't even hit him. She just kind of like bumps him, and he's on a scooter, and he like falls over, and he's like, "Ah, I just dislocated my knee." So she gets like this big crisis that she ruined this guy's life and stuff like that. But yeah, it needed a stronger script. I wish it was funnier, if because she would. I think she would have been good. She's a good actress, but I think she needed like some funny lines and stuff to make it better. So it was kind of, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen her in a comedic role.
Really, yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. I just wish they had some comedy for her in this role. But yeah, so that was pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Not the best French movie I've ever seen. And then the last one is a movie I never heard of. It's called Tokyo Pop. It's from 1988. It's this indie movie where this girl, she's like this punk rocker, and she's like dating this guy in the band. And she's like, when do I get it to sing my song? And he's like, oh, I think we're gonna go with this other girl. So she gets all mad, and she gets like this postcard from a friend, and she's like, you should come out to Tokyo. So she does. She just leaves and goes to Tokyo, without any money or and stuff. And she doesn't know how to speak Japanese or anything. So she goes there. She somehow finds this hotel where all the Americans stay. And you got to like pay for your shower and stuff like that. So, and then she works at a hostess club because of course that's like all you can get out there to make money. And it's and then she finally she meets this band that they want to, this young guy in this band, he really wants to be like an American rock star, and they sing like all these old songs. Like he wants to sing Sinatra and stuff like that. So they're singing like these old American songs at concerts and stuff like that.
I love rock, and they're just singing "Fly Me to the Moon."
Yeah. So yeah, that's their big dream, and she meets up with them, and she kind of gets involved with this guy, and so they finally ask her to join the band because she can. They think that if they have like a real American, that they'll make it big, and they get on TV and stuff like that, and they start doing commercials, and it goes well for them for a while, but then she kind of like figures out that this guy needs to sing his own song. He needs to write a Japanese song and sing for Japanese.
I'm going solo. I don't need you.
So she's like, I gotta leave. I'm gonna leave the band for your sake, and I'm gonna go back to America because for the music, man. It's for the music. And then it's a real band. I forget what they're called. I don't remember what they're called. What are they called, Jared?
What kind of music are they?
I don't know. Red Warriors. They're probably like pop, but the band. If you've ever heard the band X, they were like actually.
Were they in there?
Yeah, they were.
I watched a whole documentary on them.
They were actually in the movie.
It blew my mind because like Kiss and like all the huge bands from them are like, we don't even compare to X across the seas, and I was like, never even heard of them. And then I listened to a few of their albums, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were like heavy metal, and then they kind of went into progressive rock and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a fun movie because it's just like everything you see in anime, they did. I mean, they went to love hotels that look just like the love hotels on like anime and stuff like that. The guy had a job where he made crepes. I've never seen that in like live action where they make crepes. So it was fun. It was like it just looked like it was out of anime.
And I'm pissed. I was gonna say, was it X? And I didn't say it because I was like, it's probably pop.
But yeah, it was good. It was just like seeing stuff from anime in live action though. Like, it was a fun movie.
What was the theme of this?
I had a subscription to this channel, and it was about to run out, so I had to watch a bunch of movies. But so that was
like, I missed something. I don't see how these connect.
I guess they were kind of all comedies, but the second one didn't really feel like a comedy. It was more of a drama. Yeah, that's what I did.
Did you watch, I think it was last year, Bocchi the Rock? or no, it was probably like a year before that. An anime where this girl, she's a real introvert, and she makes like she posts all of her music on YouTube. So she's like super famous in YouTube, but no one knows her like in the real world, like her like classmates. And then she's like, she wants to make a band, but she's so like shy and stuff that
Mhm.
it's pretty funny. I bet you like it.
I never seen that. Yeah, I gotta start Shangri-La Frontier again. I kind of went on break, but video games. I've been playing this game called One Lonely Outpost. So it's a farming simulator, but it takes place on like a planet. So it's like
Do
sci-fi.
you have a mech?
No.
No, there's
No.
one on Game Pass where you have like a mech. And
Yeah, I saw that, but yeah, I didn't play. This one looks exactly like Stardew Valley, but it's sci-fi. So because I never got into Stardew, but they're like, oh, they're gonna throw sci-fi in there. It's like, oh, I might as well play it. So
raise
that's
some space chickens.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing is just trying to grow crops and stuff like that. I
Growing
kind of want
crops.
to Adam Fall game. Adam Fall.
That looks interesting. I just heard the combat's clunky. That's the only thing holding me off from it.
Hmm,
It looks very
yeah.
because they're like the map isn't crazy big. It's very dense and there's a lot to do, but it's not over stuffed. I'm like,
And of
interesting.
course, Verdansk is almost
Verdansk is
here.
coming back next Thursday.
It's almost here.
Hyped out of his mind.
I don't. Ben doesn't get hyped or unhyped. Ben's just this. That's Ben. He's like, I will play.
Except for if he sees a loadout in game.
Then he's just like this. Oh, Ben.
Oh, Ben. And then we're supposed to get new Pokemon cards this week, aren't we?
Shinies and stuff.
Shiny cards.
Shiny specials.
So we'll see. We'll have to lay down the rules this time. Got to get the last one by opening the pack. No pack. No Wonder Picks.
Nothing really matters. I can't get the stupid dragon in this one. I literally have had one Wonder Pick in like 3 days that I haven't had. Like all of them are just stuff I have. I'm like,
you guys never offer anything in
wrong
Wonder Pick.
Because I'm opening all the old packs, so nothing's coming out of them.
And then I wish you could convert pack points to one expansion instead of having them all separate. It pisses me off.
I know. I know.
And then I wish you could trade with just like anyone.
Yeah,
like
I wish
any
they had
rando.
a trading board where you like put something you want, and then someone's like, "Oh, I got that. You can have it for this." That would be cool. But
I'll give you 2 shiny nickels, and you're like,
oh, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
oh, I was muted. What the heck? I was all talking about the Pokemon I was trying to get and everything, and it doesn't matter anymore.
And now you'll never get.
Must have hit it when I picked up my phone. I just
Garchomp. That's weird that you don't have a Garchomp.
I don't have a Garchomp.
You don't have a Garchomp? The EX?
Yeah.
It's the same card I need.
That's the last one I need, and it won't give it to
So
me.
get it, and then I'll Wonder Pick off you.
Not that you'll get it for Wonder Pick. They don't work.
All right, so that's going to do it for this bonus stuff. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff, and we will see you next time. Bye.